Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Untitled Tarot. Now I've called these readings Triple Conjunction Season because we have the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction perfecting, as Mercury and Neptune are coming conjunct, as Mars and Saturn are conjunct. So we have a triple conjunction going on, 3 being the number of the goddess, the urge to move forward, the urge to make changes. And interestingly, they are in Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces. So they're in 1/4 of the chart. They are forming an arrow, focusing in on the Earth. So it made me go and have a look at what the difference was. So obviously Neptune one side, Pluto the other, from 19 degrees Pisces, which is a manifestation number, to 24 degrees Capricorn, which escapes me right now what that number's about, but I have discussed it loads on my video. But anyway, the interesting thing is the angular distance between them is 55 degrees. Angel number 55. The message in that apparently is time to let go of the old, release all the old doubts, fears and everything. It will be replaced with something better. And this is just coming off of the energy. It's not quite within orb, but the septile, which is 1/7 of the zodiac ecliptic. Now, normally an orb of 1 degree is allowed for this, but I thought that, it's well worth looking at. It's the only prime number aspect of division of the zodiac, which is an inexact number, and it is a mystical aspect that indicates the hidden flow of energies between the planets involved, often involving spiritual or energetic sensitivity and awareness of finer and more subtle hidden levels of reality involving the planets in septile aspect. Now, that to me sounds quite stunning, especially coupled with that angel message of time to let go of the old, let the new come in, release the old doubts and fears. So I'm not going to look at each individual conjunction. I've got a few other videos for that. Having said that, there is not enough hours in the day for me to do tarot scopes and readings based on every conjunction that is attracting my attention at the moment. So I decided to combine all three. There is a Jupiter-Pluto series I've just done. I'm hoping to look at the Mars-Saturn. Neptune and Mercury might be left all on its own, but we'll see. Now, as usual, this is a bulk introduction. There's a timestamp down below, so you can fast forward to the reading. I would like you to look at your sun sign, obviously, because that's the first one we're always drawn to. Your rising sign being the most important in ancient astrology. But to be quite honest, right now, I think Jupiter, Neptune, Pluto, certainly Neptune and Pluto, there's not going to be a huge difference for all of us. You could combine those two signs into a communal reading, no doubt. Collective reading, sorry. But have a look at your Mars. This is the driving force between everything, and this is in the centre of the 3 conjunctions, Saturn and Mars together, entering into new, airy, rebellious Aquarius. So we can open lots and lots of gateways for us now. Yeah, the majority of us are stuck at home in isolation. But what did it say about those septile energies? Let me just read that again. A mystical aspect that involves a hidden flow of energies between the planets involved, involving spiritual or energetic sensitivity and awareness of finer and more subtle hidden levels of reality. What we can put into place now, what we can bring together, even if it's just in our thought space on the astral level, will end up manifesting, certainly if it is in our interest, if it is something that will be better, not just for us, but for the whole world. Remember, there's a lot of outer planets here: Neptune, Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn. So this is stuff that is affecting us personally and society as a whole. And let's face it, turn on the news and you can see exactly what I mean. Very, very briefly, because try to be careful, but avoid the fear, as all of the teachers, the astrologers and everybody are talking about at the moment. So if you don't know what your moon, your rising, your Mars sign is, there's a link down below in the description to go and get yourself a free birth chart from Cafe Astrology. Then obviously there is a link to my Facebook group, where I post not just these videos, but all the astrology videos that I'm watching, and ever so often something else that I find quite interesting as well, that obviously along the line of more esoteric studies. If it means anything to you, do comment down below. Please press subscribe for me or any other reader or astrologer or whoever on YouTube. The subscriptions really, really help our channels and, in my terms eventually, but in their terms, help keep the channels going. So on that note, I've given you your standard YouTube lecture, so let me bring up the cards. And welcome Pisces rising, Pisces moon and Pisces Mars from the timestamp. Now what I didn't say in the introduction is that all this is occurring during the period of the waxing moon, where the light of the moon gets brighter and it is a time to magically increase things. This all occurs at the same time just after the North Node has been activated by passing over the eclipse point from the lunar eclipse this January. So a massive amount of change energy has been delivered to your future, to your timeline, to your destiny. And this is straight after, of course, Black Moon, Lilith and Chiron being conjunct in Aries. Aries giving you that motivation to look at and unpick and heal from the wounds and the secrets that have all risen to the surface for a good airing under the influence of Black Moon, Lilith and Chiron. So hopefully you've done the work and you are steadily on the path towards some form of wholeness from all the various, almost like past life wounds that we've been having to deal with, as well as wounds from this life. Now, be careful with your plans, Pisces, because what's going to happen is that they're going to get interrupted. We have the unexpected visitors card, which shows interruptions. I also feel with this, there's an element of secret garden to it, but in a magical, spooky way. There's so you may have visitations of all kinds. Probably less physical visitations at the moment, since hopefully you are in isolation like the entire world is. But there will still be interruptions. There will be news that comes to your plans, things that suddenly require to be done. Visitations, whether by phone or online conversation or what have you, that will interrupt the plans that you have laid out. So allow space for this. And I have no one to talk. I do not like my plans being upset. And so when I don't get to do what I decided I was going to do, and I get right sulky, my bottom lip comes out, you know, but deal with it, as I am obviously telling myself when I watch this back and I edit it. Because you are in a wonderful creative time at the moment, and these interruptions, these visitations, and I really do, I can't quite get, it's not quite spooky, it's very children's BBC 1970s mystery series feeling to it. But it's, there are influences coming in that you're going to have to either stand back and watch or deal with or interact with in some way, shape or form. So there is a physical element to this, a diary element to this, a spooky element to this. But the information that they are bringing in for you is opening up a huge energetic field, information coming in that, to be honest, I feel like it's going to knock your socks off. We've got the Akashic field here right over the star card. The star card can mean wish fulfillment as well as wisdom coming in. I'm feeling that there's an element of both. The wisdom coming in creates the wish fulfillment, because we have the angel of wisdom here. With wisdom comes from the depths of my experience. Your Pisces, you have depths. You know you have depths. And there is the light of understanding coming to you with Lelahel here, but there is an element of sticking with your ambition. Do not. There is a warning here. This is why I was trying to figure out why this Five of Cups fell out after I got the 3 cards. There is a warning here. Don't be too upset about your plans being upset. You know, there's don't worry about what you've lost. Look at what you've kept, what you've gained. And, you know, it's not just what you've kept, it's what you have gained. Beleth appearing here with the number 13. I'm thinking the number 13 always symbolises the circle to me. Like the 12 hours of the clock face and the cog with the hands in the middle on it. Or Jesus and the 12 disciples. Or various other things and their 12 things that I can't remember any off the top of my head right now. Beleth coming here with wastrels and vagabonds. Now, you're a Pisces, you're always good at adopting wastrels and vagabonds. But another thing that Beleth can do is give knowledge and create love and create attractions. So what you really need to do here is trust the process and be loyal to yourself, to your own inner wisdom here, because there's some form of display coming for you. This 7 of Wands, I'm getting multiple feelings from it. One, I'm getting the defensiveness and to a certain point the persistence. 2, I'm getting the sense of first among equals, that this person here on top of this archway is performing and outshining the equals that he's wanting to present himself to, especially since this is then followed by the Chariot. And there's 2 feelings with this. The Chariot is obviously a choice and it is motion coming up. But there is also, he could be storming away from a crowd of his peers, almost in disgust, or heading out on a mission that only he can do. He's reminding me of Ichigo out of the Bleach anime, who again was someone who crossed over between worlds, more than he was supposed to have done, and over more worlds than he was supposed to have done, and was always the consummate rebel, but was always doing the right thing, you know, a traditional anime's hero character. But the fact that this character is dancing, performing or fighting above the 6, there is that motion of the 6 of Wands here, which also implies victory. So again, showing that being first among equals vibe, but also showing movement. The 6 is, as another reader was saying yesterday, oh, and I've forgotten her name, and I wanted to give her a plug as well. No, I've forgotten her name, but I did post her Pisces reading on my Facebook group, so go and have a look. It will be after all of these triple conjunction season, or below all these triple conjunction season readings, and a couple of astrology ones as well. But she was saying how 6s always imply movement, and there is contentment. With the 6 of Cups, you can say there is a movement of memories. You can be bringing them from the past to the present, with that whole nostalgia feel. But there is victory here, but it's a little double-edged, and I feel like it's double-edged because our 7 of Wands guy here is just a little bit rebellious and a little bit sulky. So you need to trust the process. Psyche did not trust Eros. She opened her eyes to check that she wasn't having an affair with a monster. She was soon disappointed in that idea, considering that she was having an affair with the very embodiment of love itself. She let Eros down, but Eros being love, they got it back together again. Trust this process. The interruptions that come are good interruptions. Trust me on this. The light of understanding is coming. Loyalty remains around you. And those who have, can't think of the word, hitched your something or other to. But those who you have attached yourself to, your loyalty remains, their loyalty remains. But also be aware that these interruptions, wherever they come from, they might not be from places or people that you necessarily initially approve of. Don't be so close-minded. Stop looking at what you've lost. Look at what you've gained. And so I think that's what I'll call the reading, Pisces. Look at what you're gaining, because you're gaining a lot out of this conjunction. And to be honest, out of the 3 signs in this conjunction, Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces, you seem to be doing the best out of it. So lucky you. All right, so if this means anything to you, comment down below. I've given you the like, share, subscribe speech. Join the Facebook group. I've just given you good reasons why. Your next readings that will be coming out will be a look at the 3 conjunctions of Mars, of which this is the final one, to see what impetus Mars has given you with Pluto, with Jupiter, then Pluto, well, with one or the other one first, but finally finishing in Saturn in Aquarius. So I think there should be some interesting energies raising out of this that you can use to propel you during all this time where things ain't going to plan. For a sign that is embodied by 2 fish going in opposite directions, you sometimes like your plans a little too much. Cheers.